Shalom, family. Shalom, everybody. I'm glad you are all here. Some of you that been with me for a while, you know that I told you more than a year ago that my cousin was murdered. There was a dispute over money, and he ended up dead. My cousin got killed when he was trying to get dressed for church. And him and a young lady he was seeing, they were going to go to church together. So he got killed on a Sunday morning. When he was found in his apartment, he was face down with a plastic bag over his head. His pants were partially down. The person that killed him took a pair of his pants and sneakers and removed it from the house. The reason why Darius, the guy that did it, got first-degree murder is because they were able to determine that the murder was planned. He planned to go and kill my cousin that morning, and he carried it out. So once they determined that was the case, he got first-degree murder. He has no chance of getting out of jail. He got a life sentence. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so I can show you the story. Now, the case actually took place when COVID blew up. It was back in March of this year. That's when the trial took place. So I didn't talk about it much, when the trial was going on. Thank you, everybody. I didn't talk about it much because I wasn't ready. I just simply was not ready to talk about it at that time. So I just kind of kept focused on other things. But, in the background, I was talking to family about the proceedings and everything going on. I just pretty much kept it to myself. I just wasn't ready. Thank you, Art, for the super sticker. And now several months have passed and I can speak about it now. I feel like, the closure was this guy going to jail. And I think what really got me was when they arrested Darius. There was a video footage of his arrest, and he was interviewed by the media. Darius was smiling and laughing, and he thought it was just a big joke that he killed my cousin. He was proud that he killed my cousin. And it was sickening to me. And so that was just a sore spot for me for a while. But now I have gotten emotionally beyond it. And hey, when he sat in that courtroom getting that sentence, that smile was gone. He wasn't smiling anymore. And I think he knew his life was pretty much over. Now you're going to be confined behind bars and never allowed to do anything you want to do. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. I do have a screenshot of the story, and I'll go over it with you. I've had people in my family. My cousin Roland is probably one family member in a long time that's been shot. I have another cousin that lives down in Miami Garden, and he's paralyzed from the waist on down from a drive-by. He was not the intended target. He happened to be with the guy that was the intended target. And his shots were fired, and he's wheelchair bound. Been wheelchair bound now for 20 years. These things happen. I was reading an article probably about 10 years ago, and it was talking about so many Black people in this country have been killed, that damn near all of us will know someone directly or indirectly that have been murdered, whether it's somebody you worked with or someone that lived on your street, somebody that you kind of knew through another person. But we will all ultimately know someone that's been murdered. That is pretty damn sad that we have been killed to that magnitude in this country, but it's the truth. You know, when I thought about that after reading that article, I even knew people that got killed when I was still a child that I knew personally. So for me, it very much is the truth. And I'm sure it is for many people. So let me go ahead and show you a screenshot here. All right. So the guy that is in the blue suit jacket, that's Darius King, and that is the man that murdered my cousin. And his full name was Hubert Roland Hunter Jr. And he went by his middle name. That's what we used to all call him. We called him Roland. Now, the one unique thing I can tell you, and this is probably very common in a lot of Black families, I was very close growing up with my cousins in Trenton, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. When I lived in Philly, I mean, we were around each other so much. It was like more of a brother and sister relationship than it was cousins. And some of y'all can relate to that. You know, you may have an uncle that was close in age and you were close with each other, or your cousins may have lived around the corner and y'all were like, you're probably more like brother and sisters than you were like cousins. Well, that's how it was with my cousin Roland. We spent the night over at each other's homes. We took vacation together. We went to church together. I mean, so my cousins were like almost like my brothers and sisters. So when Roland died, oh my goodness, that was like somebody kicking me in the gut, for real. It really was. That hurt. It hurt deeply. Okay, so this trial, ladies and gentlemen, took place in March. It only took the jury a half hour to come up with a verdict. And based on Darius King's confession and the fact that he removed and tried to hide the bloody pants and sneakers that he took out of my cousin's apartment, and they didn't have, believe it or not, they didn't have no problem finding him. Right after the murder, the police officers went around the apartment complex, knocking on doors. And that's how they were led to Darius King here. And people also saw him previously with my cousin on other occasions. So they actually found him right away. And he was arrested, I think they said, in less than 24 hours after the murder. So, like I said, he planned this whole thing out. He got into an argument with my cousin. The dispute was over money. And a fight ensued in the apartment. Just give me a moment, y'all. My cousin died over $3, y'all. He died over $3. So when they found Darius, he had scratches on him, you know, so, you know, he looked like he was in some kind of fight. And that's all my cousin owed him was $3. He killed my cousin, y'all, over $3 damn. Okay. So, during the fight, my cousin did try to grab a knife, but he was able to get my cousin into a headlock, and he eventually blacked out during the fight. So, he was pretty bloodied up, from the fight and everything. But by the time Darius left the apartment, my cousin was face down on the floor with a plastic bag over his head with blood in it. That's how he left my cousin on the floor. My cousin was found by a woman he was supposed to go to church with that morning. She called and called, and he never answered the phone. So she decided to go over to the apartment. She went into the apartment. She had key, they were in a relationship. So she had keys to get into the apartment and found him on the bedroom floor. And she said, now I understand why you didn't answer the phone. So she was the one that called the police. And, like I said, Darius was arrested. And they had the closing arguments of this back in March, and he was found guilty, and they slapped on first-degree murder because of the way this whole thing was planned out. So, I mean, now you can understand it was so hard for me to talk about this when the verdict came out. Yes, he killed my cousin over $3. $3. I am not kidding, y'all. I am not kidding you. And if you read the article, it states it right in the article. $3. That's what my cousin lost his life over. $3. So there you have it. I did wanted to update you on this because I spoke about it, not long after it happened. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing. Trust me, I got relatives and I got a friend I gave money 2 years ago. And trust me, it was way more than $3. I never got one dime of that money back. I had one cousin that used to be a corrections officer, and he ended up getting laid off. And he, was asking me for financial help. I helped him out financially, and I never got one dime of that money back. So trust me, $3, I think I could have easily forgotten about, but Darius, I guess he saw it differently. Thank you, Shadesworthy, for the super sticker. But yeah, I think that hurt more than anything. When I heard about the dispute over money, I thought, okay, well, this must have been one hell of amount of money that was owed. And then when I found out it was $3, oh my goodness. Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It is so much evil on this planet. There are a lot of people that will hate folks like Darius. I hate Darius. I'm not going to lie, but it doesn't mean I hate all young men because of Darius. I can discern it to the point where I have a cousin that was killed by a black man, but that doesn't mean I hate all black men. No, I know how to target my anger in the right way. So my anger is with Darius for what he did. So I would never hate all young Black men because of one stupid asshole. And I don't think you do that. I just feel like I lost my brother. And I don't think I'll ever get rid of the pain of losing my cousin Roland. But this is at least closure for me. And I really need to feel the closure. I'm glad the trial is over. And I'm glad in this case, the justice did work out. And we know this is a rare thing in this country. But I think the only reason why they were able to get the first degree murder was because Darius was a Black man. And we know this. If he was a white man, he would never have gotten that kind of sentence at all. But I'm glad it's over. And I'm glad we can try to get to the stage of healing in the family. Yeah. So, everybody, that's all I just wanted to update you on. But thank you for coming. And, oh, hi, Loretta. Thank you for coming. She heard me talking. I know that's why she ran up. And, we'll do this again, but a different subject matter. And there are actually a couple of stories that I want to live stream with you that I might even do one tomorrow, depending on how I feel. So everybody, thank you so much for being here and enjoy the rest of your night. Peace, family.